Hey there, everybody. So we're going to have another special episode of Empire Interviews. Today, I'll be joined by f.ART. And f.ART, in case you all don't know, is actually the funniest man on Cardano. So without any further ado, we're going to get right into it. So now here we are. So I am the John Carter, co-founder of Jpg Empire, and then this is f.ART, the funniest man on Cardano. So how are you doing today, f.ART? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. It's raining in Pittsburgh. It's a little gloomy, but it finally feels like fall. Like fall is finally settling in. But I'm finally off the clock, so I get to crack open one of these silly goose juices from
So
Vegas.
what do you got there? So I saw them. I saw them in a lot of the different Cardano girls pictures, videos. Tell me about that. Like, who made it? What is it? You know, what's in there? Tell me about it.
So this is our second Super Vibes beer. This is a passion fruit lychee hibiscus sour. You could get these at Rare Evo. We had some at CJ's Sweet Party and then some at the Cattle Daddy Party. But these are made by CJ and her boyfriend Adam. They have their own brewery and whatever. But last year we had peach Bellini sours that were fantastic. And then we got these ones this year. And look how cute the art on the can is. The silly goose has little disco ball sunglasses. It's so cute. And it's delicious. It's fantastic.
That sounds amazing. I'm very jealous. I never got to try one at Rare Evo. I didn't. I should have. I should have figured out a way to do so. But I feel like it was at most of the events outside, right?
We did run out at the Cattle Daddy Party. I think that they brought like 90 with them to Vegas, and I want to say like just the small group of us that got together on like Thursday night or whatever. I think we went through 50 by ourselves. Like we were pounding these. I think I had 3 myself. Like I could not be slowed down. I will practice self-control next year though, so you can get your hands on one. I'm sorry that you were slighted this year.
Well, I'm excited to try it next year. Well, okay. So for everybody out there, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is I guess what is your life, right? Before Cardano and crypto? And then I guess how has your life changed since? And what are you involved in this space? Because I see you all the time. You're I think I might be biased. To be honest, I'm kind of in love with your boyfriend. So
I think a
no,
lot of people
you know what I
are.
mean?
That's fair. I can share, but like no touching. That's all I'm asking. Like,
Okay.
yes, you guys can enjoy his mind and his intellect, but like his body's mine. So back off. And the beard.
I was gonna say, yeah, what about the beard though? You know, I just kind of want it to rub up against mine. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy.
For sure. Um, yeah. So me before Cardano, I was working at like a fine jewelry store for a little bit doing like custom stuff. So I have a lot of background in fine jewelry and like rubies and diamonds and fabrication and whatever. So then COVID happened and it was unsafe to like, leave your house. So I tried to find remote work. Started doing sales remotely, and that's how Viva and I kind of got to know each other. About a year into us working together, we started dating. And then, like, 2 months into us dating, he gets super into Cardano NFTs. He was looking at like Claymates and the Omens, or I guess it was Pneumonium at the time, Pneumonium, the Chilled Kongs, like all of the early stuff. And I'm watching him do his crypto thing, and I'm like, that's great, honey. Like, I'm gonna, do my own stuff, see you around, whatever. And it got to equine coming out, and it finally like started to make sense to me, like the mechanics of NFTs and like how
So
you could
tell me about equine because I don't know, right?
So equine, I don't know if they're still building. I'm gonna say that they are for argument's sake. Anyway, Equine was a like gaming NFT that whenever they were minting, you bought like packs of 3 that had horses and then jockeys and then like a special skin or whatever. And it finally like started to make sense like how NFTs correlated to like people buying them and them having value and whatever, because the horses had all these different stats and they could race, and like the races could be randomized, and then you could have betting based off of the races, and then there was also the option to like crossbreed the horses to have the best genetics possible, and then like the jockeys had um different, stats and whatever. And then the skins made sense like a Fortnite thing that like you could buy and trade those, and instead of paying the game, you're like buying them off of people. Um, so it started with that and Happy Hoppers. Happy Hoppers was like the first Discord that I joined and was like grinding for whitelist and whatever. So that's like December 21, I guess. Uh, Started getting into like discords and buying stuff before Fart was made. And the catalyst that brought Fart to be was a project called Handies, if you remember them.
I do not, but tell me about that one because that sounds pretty hilarious. Okay, gotcha.
So
Yeah,
they were NFTs that looked like, a hand puppet, right? But they were incredibly unsettling. Like they were weird. They had weird stuff going on. But like the art was so clean and crisp. Like it was a well-drawn hand, and like it was done in 4K, and you zoomed in and you could see like the fingerprint on the hand. And like it got to the point that I'm like buying and selling NFTs and using my personal Twitter account, and then I come across Handies and I was like, there's no way that I can like talk about this on normie Twitter and have anybody, still respect me afterwards. So I had to make Fart. I had to make an alt account to talk about
huge.
this unsettling hand, NFT. Um, so that's how Fart came to be. The name Fart is from just, I've always called art fart. Like I have a degree in fine fart. I go to the Pittsburgh Farts Festival. Like it's always just been what I've said, like not in like a weird Ice Spice kind of way that like it's all I talk about. But like it's always just been like a Freudian slip that like, yeah, fart, whatever. Um so that's just how fart came to be, and it, stuck and people thought it was funny. So here I am
See,
today.
yeah, and then CNFT art is actually the handle, right?
It's CNFT fart.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
CNFT part.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's
No,
always
that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. And I think that's so funny because where you decided I can't let normie Twitter know about this, so I need to make an alt account. I actually was very different. What happened for me is that I started getting into crypto and I was like, wait, but like the real alpha's on Twitter. And then I go to my Twitter and then I just find like high school and earlier John that had to lie about his age to get on Twitter, and then like his unfiltered thoughts and like, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Like it was so bad. And there were thousands of tweets. I had to go and delete tens of thousands of tweets or whatever just to make sure that like whenever I started to actually use it and then like, stand behind it, that I didn't get canceled in the future for high school John.
So, I, I feel like starting from scratch helps though. Like if you don't have a whole lot of followers to begin with, like just cutting it off and starting fresh. But like I respect the hustle of having to delete so many tweets because that's a
Oh,
lot. It's really
terrible,
time consuming.
terrible. But it's great because now you can look at my tweets, and it would take you so long to like find those tweets if they still do exist. I mean, I commend anybody if they find them. Good
Yeah.
on you. You had a lot of time. Well, okay. So then you started getting into crypto. You started with NFTs, and was it just because like you started on Cardano that you sort of stayed? Did you play around in other ecosystems? Like what was it for you? Because I feel like the experience, like once you're into Cardano, it's really hard to leave because like, are you gonna go somewhere else where you pay a lot just to send a transaction, or are you going to go somewhere else where like you have to like have a whole new learning on how to like get into it? Like, I mean, ordinals was like a big step for me. This Bitcoin ordinal, or the Omen ordinals, were my first ones. Super
Mhm.
happy about them. They were awesome,
Yeah, they are
but
awesome.
like, what was the experience for you? What did you feel like?
Yeah, I thought it went really smooth, and the team was really, I mean, obviously I live with the team, but, like, I thought that the, like, minting experience was good, and they communicated really well as far as, like, expectations went. I got my free mints already, they've already done that, and it was cheap. They did it in a way that, like, was so beneficial for holders that, like, you really have to give them props for it. All around great first experience on ordinals for me too. Those are
Sounds worse.
the only things that I have in my wallet for ordinals.
Yep.
I'll probably say that it'll stay that way. I think that Bitcoin is probably more valuable as Bitcoin as opposed to NFTs, but that's my opinion. But like obviously Omen is the exception.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But so yeah, you didn't mess around in too many other ecosystems. Let's see.
Yeah, so
So
so I
yeah,
did buy some ETH NFTs, because there were some communities at the time that I wanted to get into, like Degentunes, for example. There was a really strong like Cardano presence with that project. Um, so there were a few different NFTs that I like bought on ETH. My Rebud OG Pass being another one. I love that. It's like the best utility that I've ever gotten from an NFT project.
I
Uh,
saw that at Rare Evo, and I was so angry that I never knew anything about any of that. And then I saw your bag that you took home. That looks awesome. So
yeah,
I guess like
coming
tell
to
us about
Cardano.
Rebud, dude. Tell us about Rebud,
Yeah,
because
so
yeah,
incredible project. They are coming to Cardano. They just announced that last week on Super Vibes. Very excited for that.
fantastic.
Super Vibes also like partners with Rebud. We help them with content and like things at conferences and things like that. Um, but yeah, Rebud. I bought my first Rebud NFT back for CNFTCon 2022, and I want to say it was like 300 ADA or something at the time, like super reasonable. I got like $300 worth of weed at that time. I also was taken out to Hell's Kitchen with the rest of the holders at the time. They bought every appetizer at Hell's Kitchen, every side. We could pick whatever entree we wanted. We got dessert, however many drinks we wanted, whatever. Like it was just you were completely treated, red carpet rolled out, treated like your family from the Rebud guys. So that was my first experience. They also went to, I want to say, Vegas last year, Basel, Rare this year, and or sorry, NFT NYC, Rare, and then they're also going to be going to Basel this year. Um, and every time that they show up to events that you're at, you're getting like a box that is filled with like $600 worth of merchandise. And like they grow it all themselves. So they, can really
Yeah, it's really, really
afford
easy
it.
for them to, yeah, really load it up. Yeah.
And it's so cool because the artist for the gardens and petal potheads is um, affiliated with Rebud too. So like he's making the packaging for the flower bag, like the eighths of flour. He like makes all the packaging for it, and there's like a sticker of his art on the inside of it. It's just like really nice attention to detail. It's a really professional company, and they give you like a really red carpet rolled out experience for like holders and holder benefits and stuff. Like I love those guys. They're incredible.
I met them and I thought they were super cool. And I mean, like, they also, a lot of the rewards program at Rare Evo was like
They
at
did
their
the
booth.
activation.
Yeah,
So
the activation.
those like hockey puck things that were around the conference, and then everybody's pass. If you scanned those hockey puck things, you got like 5, 10, 15 points. And then for each person that you networked with, you scanned their badges and you got another point for that. And I felt like the point system, like it was really fair. It's not like you had to
Super
work for
fair.
3 days straight to try to get a t-shirt. Like I
No,
walked out of there with sweatpants,
I got
um,
sweatpants.
4 different t-shirts. I think this bracelet, like so much stuff just for, like, walking around the conference and, like, mindfully
Meeting
playing
people.
the game. It's not like I was running around and, like, scanning everybody's badge, but, like, I played passively and I still walked away with a lot of stuff, so they planned it out really well, and it was nice to see so much, like, thought put into the conference and, like, the execution really coming together. It was just awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was blown away by Rare Evo, I will tell you. This was my first, like, well, okay, so I went to Bitcoin Miami. That was an absolutely, like, mind-blowing experience. Whenever I went to that in 21, it was, like, right when it was, like, the time, to really do that. Dude, I
Mhm.
did so many things. Like, I stayed in a hostel. I, like, had to borrow money to, like, make sure that I got there. I got an industry pass. I was trying to get into this world, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Like, I was, like,
Mhm.
couch surfing. Um,
You
had
true
to,
digital nomad.
you know what I mean? Yeah, I did the whole thing. I did everything to get there, and it was awesome and it was worth it. But Rare Evo was very much kind of a similar thing, but, like, I was blown away.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a really nice experience, and, like, being in Caesars and on the Strip, like, the last 2 years, it was at the Westgate, which is, like, a little bit off the Strip. You're not, like, getting the hustle and bustle, and there aren't a bunch of restaurants around. So it was really nice to just be centrally located to everything and be able to walk across the street and get a hot dog or, like, not stay in Caesars. Like, we stayed at the Link, so it was like a block across the street and we were back at our hotel. It was just nice to have options as opposed to you can only be at the Westgate and there's like
yep.
two restaurants inside and that's all you get. So it was a nice change of pace for sure.
Absolutely, and shout out to the Rare Evo team. I
Yep.
actually
Shout
was one of the burner VIPs, so they took the 5 of us to a dinner. It was amazing. They let us order whatever that we wanted, and then all of the guys basically, for the most part, drank Red Bull and vodka, and I was like, "Wait, so we can order whatever we want, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, since you guys are already videotaping some of the stuff we do, get the camera out here. I'm about to order something, right?" And then I ordered Clase Azul. Are you
out.
familiar with that tequila? Right. Okay,
Not
so it's this like hand painted white vase bottle with a bell on top. This is like a $60-$70 shot of tequila,
oh
right?
geez.
So, like, I asked them beforehand, but then when it came out, they were all like, the looks on their faces were priceless. They did not expect that from me. And I made them videotape me while they poured my drink, and then I tapped the bell on top, and it was just so funny. It was a surreal experience, but also it was just, like, ridiculous. It was
Yeah, that's
something, you know
awesome.
what I mean? I
That's
had
a
to.
great
I was
story.
like, "You guys are paying? Oh, well, bet."
Oh, it's on your card? Let me get
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It was so funny. But yeah, Rare Evo was awesome. The team was awesome. I can't wait till next year. It's gonna be like 3 to 4 times bigger. But I wanted to move to a topic that you probably know a little bit about. So art wise, like, what are your favorite kinds of styles of art? Like, who are some artists that you enjoy, appreciate, and, like, what kinds of, I guess, art are your favorite? I've seen some of your amazing pottery, right? You've thrown some amazing pots, right? That's what they call it, throwing
Yeah.
them. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, what do you like? What styles do you like? My mom's actually an artist also,
Oh, cool.
and she does, I mean, a lot of times it's kind of like impressionistic colors, but then real world things. She has this series of women that have like these some none of them have faces,
Mhm.
right? But they have these like hats and they're like kind of like extravagant, voluptuous like women, but um they tend to have like different colors that are kind of like South American warm kind of vibes. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll have to send you some of them
Yeah,
or
yeah,
show you
you
some of
should.
it.
That sounds really cool.
But
My favorite, like, art to appreciate, I would say I love the impressionist movement. I love, like, Van Gogh, Picasso, Dali. Oh, I guess Dali's more surrealism, but, like, you know, that whole wave of artists, love all those guys. Also love, street art, specifically, like, Banksy, things that make you think a little bit. My cat's name is actually Banksy. I named him in college in 2013. So I've always been a big fan. And then my other cat's name is Cornbread, who is like the first graffiti artist that came to be. So I was keeping a theme for a little bit, but my last cat's name is Jalapeno, and
Is it because he's spicy or what?
no, I just wanted to call her Peen. I told Joe that we would call her Hallie or Viva. I told Viva that we'd call her Hallie for short. But I just wanted to call a little cat Peen, so that's what we call her, and she's perfect and precious. Um, Pottery is my like favorite art form to do. Um, I love pottery like a lot, and if the world was perfect, I would have my own studio, and that would be like what I do full time. Um, Still working, still getting there. You know, kilns are very expensive, so maybe someday. But yeah, I just love the like dedication and technique, I guess, that comes along with that. Like I've always considered myself more of a craftsman than an artist. Like I think that being an artist there requires a certain amount of like thought behind your work, and like with Project Venus, I feel like that's there, but like with a lot of my stuff from college and whatever, like I was doing things to say that I did the project. It wasn't the like artistic, you know, meaning behind anything. But I really took to pottery because I really respected the like form and structure of things that like for pottery you're looking for a good form, meaning that like you're getting the the angle at the bottom of the mug, and you're centering things correctly and creating the shapes that are, you know, pretty to look at and trimming things well. But then also things like the handle, that whenever you're like, I didn't make this mug, but like this handle, not comfortable to hold. Like I can't put two fingers in there. It's a one finger mug, and it's fine as a one finger mug, but like preferable, maybe not for some people, but like thinking about the actual
Experience.
functionality. It's like the functionality. Like I'm creating something for people to use. It's not like whenever you're making pottery, you're not using glazes that are going to poison people. Like you need to think through the experience for people so they're not like it's too hot whenever they take it out of the microwave. Like you're being mindful of the things that make a usable product, and like at the end of it, that's what you have, and that's what you created. And not everybody can create these things, and like that is skill in itself, but is that art? That's not what I consider art. um which is why I always like identified more as a craftsman, I guess, um until Project Venus, and then things changed. But yeah.
So tell me about Project Venus, because you've mentioned it a couple times. Like I should know, and I probably should, you know. But I mean, especially now, I feel like, you know, this would be a good time to tell me about Project Venus. What's going on there, and what is that?
So let me take a sip real quick before I get into this.
Yeah, you're definitely allowed to do that. And like before this, like, have you thought about like amassing an assortment or like quite a few different like pots and pottery that you've made, and then we're planning on getting a super booth at Rare Evo next year. You know, you could set them up, and then you
It's not a
know,
bad idea.
we should
I,
get it all together.
I have thought about that, and the last 2 years at Vegas, I didn't do it at Rare this year, but the two prior years, I was hiding little teal titties around the conference that like I made them out of clay. They were just little teal titties. And if you found a pair of titties, then you could trade them in with me and get a mug that I made. So that was like my little shtick that I was doing.
Scavenger hunt.
But it would, sorry, it would be great to like be able to sell stuff. And it seems like people are interested enough in my work that like I could have a market there. And I have thought about making NFTs out of the mugs and like trying to do some kind of drop that way. Not sure if it makes sense, but like I've thought about like zoomed in pictures of the glaze and like what the glaze does in the kiln. So you have that as like the image, and then you buy the mug. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I might just sell it like normal, but someday I do hope to sell mugs to the public on Twitter, because it does seem like a lot of people are interested. So fingers crossed we get there. What was the Project Venus? All right. So story gets a little heavy at times, so prepare yourself. But back
Sheesh.
whenever I what
I just said sheesh. You said heavy.
it does, it does. So back when I first made Fart, I was like, on Twitter, making friends, whatever. And I get pulled into like an NFT project that I'm telling people I'm an artist, and I get pulled into this thing called Dreamskate, um, where it was me and 9 other artists made 6 different skate deck boards, and um, it was generative, whatever. It was supposed to be a skate game, whatever. Never happened, never got paid from it. So I did all this work and nothing happened. Same with the other 9 artists. Nobody got paid from this. So that was my first like intro into the NFT space. So my expectations for anything were incredibly low. Through the like making friends, whatever, I meet this one guy that was in DGen Crypto Club, and we come to find out that he lives locally to us and he has a girlfriend, and like we can go on double dates. They're about to move, whatever. So, in like me doing these skate decks, I had kind of doodled this one nude of myself to see how it looked for a continuous line drawing thing on the board. It's a little too lewd for like what the project was, so I scrapped the idea, but I enjoyed doing the drawing. And like I I was assaulted when I was in college from a like close friend of mine, and after that happened, I had gained a lot of weight and like tried to make myself conventionally unattractive to be less of a or less of a target for being a potential victim again. And then I gained too much weight, and then I developed an eating disorder to like lose weight and be desirable again, and like it was just this whole fucked up like up and down and terrible things happening, and then like losing all this weight and finally feeling like conventionally attractive, but like I was throwing up every day to get to this point. That was a weird tangent. Okay, back to back to where I was. Meeting up with DGen Crypto Club guy and his friend, I show her this continuous line drawing that I had done of myself. Her response is like, "Wow, that's so awesome. I would love it if you would do one of me, whatever." And I'm like, "I would love to draw you. I don't have any models. All you have to do is send me some nudes and I'll get right on that." So she's like, "Okay, I'll do that." Like she's on board. She doesn't show any like hesitancies, whatever. And I'm working on some other stuff at the time. So I was like, take your time, whatever, get back to me when you have the nudes. So I follow up with her a few times because a couple weeks pass and I don't have any pictures from her. And it's probably like the 4th time that I followed up, and her response was like, "Can I be honest with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course you can be honest." And from there she starts to talk about how she has like extreme body dysmorphia, and how she doesn't even have social media accounts because she hates the way like her body looks, and she doesn't like pictures of herself, and like she goes to therapy for her body issues and whatever, and like she wants to be a part of this project that I'm working
Yeah.
on, but like
But
she has.
emotionally, it's hard for her. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So like my response to that was opening up about my own problems and my own issues with my body and my weight gain and my weight loss and the things that I've gone through. And like we just kind of had this real conversation of like, these are your issues, these are my issues. Like everybody has stuff that they're working through, but like all bodies are good bodies, and you shouldn't feel insecure or anything about yourself. So like the next day, she finally like works herself up to sending these pictures. And when I say that this woman is a goddess, like it blows my mind that somebody that looks like her could have such like debilitating body dysmorphia. But like she was to a T perfect. And to see that she was struggling so much with this, like it was just such a hard thing to understand or like process, I guess. So I got to work right away. It took me like 24 hours. I doodled out her body, I sent it back. And her response was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Can I show my mom? Can I show my therapist? I love this, whatever." And like having that interaction where she was so low and so down, and then having me give her my art and see the complete turnaround in her perception of herself. It was just incredibly moving to like be a part of that. Um,
It's a
so
very
fro
beautiful thing. I mean, like,
Yeah,
just that story by itself, I mean, it's beautiful.
thank
I
you.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kinda like how everything started. From working with her, I was like, "Okay, I'm only gonna work with people that I know, no, like, Instagram models, whatever, like, it's gonna be people from real life or people from Web3." Like, there has to be, like, that trusting element that they're sending me these nudes, and then I'm taking care of it and giving them a piece back that makes them feel good about themselves and, you know, etcetera. Um, but that's kind of how it happened. I drew probably 4 girls from in real life, and then there were a couple girls from Cardano and a couple girls from ETH. So by the time, like, I was minting, I had a couple people from ETH make new wallets to come over to Cardano, which was pretty cool. Um, and it the whole, like, minting process, I had originally wanted to do it on September 22nd, 2022, which was, like, the fall equinox and, like, you know, big things changing, whatever. But I think that was when, like, the Voltaire update or something was happening, so Ada
Everything broke.
yeah, so Ada Anvil was like, "Absolutely not, we're not doing this on the day that, like, things are updating. We can either push it back a week or push it up 2 days." And I was like, "Well, I guess we're pushing it up 2 days."
You're like, "I guess things are changing."
Yeah, and, like, 2 days wasn't that big of a deal, but I was cutting it close to, like, not having stuff done to begin with. But it was funny, not funny, I mean, it's not haha funny, but, like, funny, because the mint day ended up being the 8-year anniversary of me getting assaulted. So, it was like this whole full circle moment of, like, this is kinda what started me on this path and, like, not feeling safe and feeling like I need to protect myself by putting on this armor of not feeling attractive and then needing to like shed that and hurting myself in another way by like it was just a full circle moment for it to be on like the 8-year anniversary of that happening. And on top of that, which was like cherry on top, it was a 555 piece collection, and I sold them for I think 55 ADA each or something. But I sold out in 31 minutes for an art collection with no utility, no nothing. Nobody was marketing for me. It was just me throwing tweets out, and I sold out in 31 minutes. So that was like a huge thing for me. So I like to toot my horn whenever it comes up. But
Well, I want you to know that now that I realized, because it took me a moment, right? I was like about to say something about it because I actually pulled it up in another tab, and I was gonna buy one, but then I see I have to move some stuff around. But then I didn't want to say that I was gonna buy one because in my mind we were live. So one of those bastards was gonna steal it from me
oh
beforehand because the floor is currently 77 ADA.
yeah,
Um, you know what I mean? So I was like, I want to just like pick it up, snag one, support, all
it's
that.
just
But now I
me.
don't have to worry about it. So all of you bastards out there will see this when it's not, live.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I won't undercut you, so we
yeah,
can
yeah.
talk about it here.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's perfect. Fantastic. But anyways, I mean, I love the collection. I definitely think it's a beautiful collection. I'm actually we'll share it here. We'll look at it together just so that way we can, you know, reminisce
All right,
and
sounds good.
ponder. Let's see. So here we are. Let's actually put us down here. Look, now we're just, isn't that crazy?
I love that. Neat. Look at us.
Look at us. So yeah, Project Venus. Definitely, guys, check it out. If you don't have one, you should grab one. Especially if you love what it's about. I mean, I think it's beautiful for a lot of different reasons. A lot of people go through a lot of things that are difficult to talk about, and also depending on, you know, your support group, people you have around you, it's really difficult to go through a lot of the different complexities of life. And there are a lot of things that people don't need to go through or don't deserve to go through. Nobody deserves to go through anything as difficult as that. But I mean, I love this. I think that the art is amazing. And the fact that you drew all of these is pretty crazy.
Yeah, thanks. And, like, it was nice having the time to, like, talk with the models, and, like, I would share my story and the original, conversation with the first girl, and give them that as like the intro to the project. And it was amazing how many girls would respond and say, like, I went through similar situations, or like I was assaulted, or I have an eating disorder. And like it was just like it's never good to hear like people have gone through the same terrible traumatic experiences that you've gone through.
When you tell them it's some dark experience and they're like, "Oh yeah, me too."
Yeah,
It's
same.
like,
And you're like,
that's terrible.
no, no, not another
No.
person, no.
Yeah.
But like, it feels good to be able to relate to somebody that's gone through similar things to what you've gone through, and like be able to lean on each other for support in some kind of like, it's not a good feeling to find people that are experiencing these same things, but like it's reassuring knowing that you're not alone. And then on top of that, like being able to change your story from being a victim to becoming a survivor, and then going to like empower and embolden other people and help them share their stories and help them overcome the issues that they're dealing with. Like it goes from healing yourself to working to heal other people, and it becomes so much bigger than yourself.
Yeah. So I'm a dad, right? And my beautiful daughter is 15. So
Oh,
all this stuff, I really, you know what I mean? She's my favorite, right? Best daughter I've ever had in my life.
oh,
But
that's cute.
yeah, maybe she'll watch this. Probably not. It's crypto stuff, so why would she? But she has a wallet. She has a Cardano wallet. I made her a handle. I asked her what she wanted her handle to be, and it's Yo Mama is mine.
Hell
So
yeah.
Yo Mama is mine is my daughter's handle. So anybody wants to send her anything, that's where you send it. Send it to Yo Mama's mine.
She sounds
Um,
cool. I like her.
she is cool. She is real cool. She is cool and bilingual. Both my kids speak English and Spanish. They're in Honduras right now, but hopefully things go well here in Colombia. I'll bring them over, and they'll be here in Colombia with me for a little while, and then we'll go back to the States.
There
So
you go.
yeah. Well, that was beautiful. I love that. We have the option to cut it here, or we can go on for a little bit longer. How do you feel? How do you feel? What are you thinking?
Whatever you want to do. We're
Okay.
flowing, so whatever.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. These kind of interviews, this is what it's like. It's chill. Okay. So Project Venus, amazing. Cardano NFTs, Rebud. Um, so if you could go anywhere in the entire world, blank check, you can have anything you would like to eat, like beginning, like appetizer, you know what I mean, like meal and then dessert. And then maybe something to drink. Like what are you getting? You're not paying for it. And if you have to travel to multiple places in the world
That
to
was my
get
next
the
question.
parts, you know what I mean? You can do it.
That was
Like
my next
what
question.
are you getting? Kinda
Okay.
like, the last meal question, like, what's your last meal? Like, it doesn't have to be your last meal, but, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one you wanted.
All right. Let me think it through. So it's dinner that I'm having with appetizer and full like meal, and then
Yeah,
dessert.
yeah, whatever. Or if you wanna have breakfast for you know what I mean?
No,
Whatever.
I'm not a breakfast girly. Like I'll
Eh,
eat it because Viva loves breakfast, but like not my thing. Um, appetizer. Fuck. This is a tough question because I feel like a lot of the food that I would normally say is like typically American, just because like appetizers, mozzarella sticks, sure. Um, and like I don't know who makes good calamari. Like I would assume, you know, Colombia probably has good calamari, or
I would say good calamari is probably you're probably closer to the Asian places probably with good calamari, to be
right.
honest.
Yeah, good call.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Honestly, I'll keep it simple. I've never been to, like, Italy, and I know that, like, they do it right, like, with the homemade pastas and the gelato. Like, I would love to have, like, authentic Italian gelato. I think that especially right now, I don't know why I'm just craving ice
It is
cream,
good.
but
Gelato's my favorite.
yeah, yeah, so I feel like I would fly to Italy and have, like, some fresh made pasta, maybe a little slice of pizza. I don't know what their, like, typical appetizers would be, but I'm assuming, like, some arancini balls, whatever. But I do like the whole Tour de France or Tour de France, Tour de Italy, like Olive Garden style in Italy.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. No, that's awesome. I think that's a great choice. I will say gelato in Italy is delicious,
I heard that
and,
there's, like, things that you have to look out for because not every gelato place is apparently authentic gelato. There's some posers out there, so you gotta be careful.
uh, that might be true. I will say one of the best desserts I ever had in my life was in Italy, and I could never, like, recreate or, like, replicate, like, or find what it was. But it was like it was like something creamy, like almost like some kind of like custard with like fruits and stuff, but it was like a white custard. And every other time people try to give me like a crème brûlée, and crème brûlée is not like quite it. And I don't know. But yeah, Italy pasta, definitely an excellent choice. Italy pizza, it's different, very good. I'm excited for you to eat that.
Yeah,
I'm happy for
I'll
you.
get there
You know what I
someday.
mean? It's gonna be an excellent choice. And I mean, that might be like the bull run thing. So Viva, if you're watching, which, you know, you probably will. Um, yeah, Italy. I mean, we can, yeah, we'll do a thing. We'll do a thing. We should do like a whole Web3 Italy thing,
We
top of
should.
the bull market. It's like
Tell
instead
their
of taking
ego
profits.
next year instead of
Yeah.
we're going to Italy and they can figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, that would be sick. That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. I would lose my mind. Italy's another, well, Europe in general. They like we go pretty hard in the States. Like everybody outside of States, they're like Americans. Those people are freaking crazy. And
Yeah,
like we are, but like the difference is that like in Europe, they're crazy, but like they don't ever die. They just keep going.
yeah.
You know what I'm
There's no
saying? So, I
fun.
mean, like, you know, the US, like, you might, like, go so hard and then, like, midnight, 2 o'clock, whatever, you're just, like, wake up somewhere. But, like, there, it's like, no, no, no. Like, 6, 7 in the morning, they kept going, and they didn't even do coffee.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
cannot relate to that at all. The John Carter, while we're here, I
Yes.
have a question for you too.
I have an
What
answer.
is your favorite potato side dish? I'm talking like mashed potatoes, French fries. If you say French fries, you need to tell me the cut of French fry. That's very important. Tater tots, scalloped potatoes, cheesy potatoes, au gratin potatoes, potato salad, pierogies, gnocchi. Like, what is your favorite potato side dish?
Man, okay, so the fact that you said that, I feel like you asked the question wrong, right? Because you said potato side, but I love chicken and gnocchi, like in general. Like I would have that as my whole like everything in the middle. But so I almost I think I have to say gnocchi, to be honest. But
I can get on board with that. When
you
you
know,
say chicken and gnocchi, are you talking about like the Olive Garden soup?
no, no, no. I'm talking about like I spent my fall break in Italy or in Canada with a little Italian lady. She was like, I mean, if they hear me say this, they're gonna think I'm terrible. But she was like 145 years old, dude. And the thing about like Italian culture, like we couldn't speak the same language, but like we understood each other, kind of like Pootie Tang. It's like, you know, like
Mhm.
couldn't understand what she was saying, but like, you know, I knew what she meant. And
Right.
but whenever I stayed at her house, whenever I was there, the like Italian culture, like they fill you a big bowl of food, and then you eat it, and then they fill it up again, and then you eat it, and then they fill it up again, and then you eat it, and then like you're not supposed to, like, if you stop or if you say no, like that's disrespectful. So then it got to the point where like I've eaten like 4 or 5 bowls of this chicken and gnocchi, and then I looked at her and I was like, nah, if I'm gonna eat another bowl, like you're eating another bowl too. Like we're gonna keep eating these bowls together.
This is
Otherwise,
some kind
I'm
of
gonna
game.
stop. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
This
Because
is
these were
see
not.
how much John can eat.
Yeah, these were not small bowls. These were like massive bowls. But that chicken enoki was so good.
Oh
Every
yeah,
single time I thought that I couldn't do it, like I like made space and found it. It's
I'm proud
crazy.
of you.
I'm telling you. But so that would honestly probably be my meal of choice too. It would probably be the chicken enoki,
Good call.
specifically like 100-plus-year-old grandma style type deal.
That's the only way it should be, really. I
Yeah.
want an obscenely old woman making it for me.
Yeah. Like she canned the sauce years in advance.
Wow, that's
Type shit.
incredible. Honestly, I respect the dedication more than anything.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then tell us about some movies. Like, what movies do you like? And have you seen anything good on Netflix? Because I feel like we've all seen
Ooh,
everything good on Netflix for the most part, but there are
I
some really good things.
I love, like, murders and murder docs and whatever, like true crime. Netflix just came out with this show called Monsters that's like a
I've seen it. I haven't watched it yet, though.
it's so good.
So good, I'll watch it.
I don't know how much of it is, like, accurate, but, like, laws and understanding of childhood psychology and whatever were very different in the 80s. So, like, these guys were I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you because 'cause I'm assuming you don't know much about the case, but, like, these guys went through a lot of trauma in their younger years, and, like, it wasn't taken into account the way that it would be today, and, like, the way that they like, put the plot out that, like, episode 1, like, you see exactly how it goes down, but then, like, they kinda break down the family dynamic and the mom and the dad and, like, the everything that's going on behind the scenes as
Yeah,
well.
what led up to it?
And there's this one scene that was crazy to watch because it is they start the scene and the younger brother sits down at this table and it's whole screen. The back of the lawyer is like real small in the front and then he's real small behind her facing the camera on the other side for 33 minutes. He gives a monologue about the abuse that he went through and it slowly zooms in on him this entire time. Not a single cut, it's one frame of this guy just like recounting the story and like acting through it. And it is insane to watch somebody do that. Like not a break, not a it was insane. Like I want to rewatch it just to see that scene again with Viva.
That's amazing.
It's
That's
incredible.
really crazy. So you probably then, I guess, like, do you like true crime stuff or do you just like dark, like wild
I'll watch both.
explorations into
Yeah, like I really like the true stuff and like that's why I'm like I'm not sure if what they actually portrayed was like accurate, whatever. Like the documentary was good, but I don't know how much of it was like 100% true. Like I think that they try to keep it as true as possible, whatever. But like love true crime and then I love like the suspenseful shows that like you're solving the mystery as it's happening and like The Haunting of Hill House or whatever. Like I loved that show on Netflix. Um, we just watched Jack Reacher, that was another like kind of whodunit thing. But yeah, I like all that kind of stuff.
I got 3 particularly very dark ones. So like my specific like bread and butter is always like the darkest, most demented kind of thing, but like it has to be incremental. Like you
Mhm.
have to like start it and be like, "Oh," and then all of a sudden you're watching like the transition and then by the time you get to the part where you're just like, "Wow."
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
like
mean?
it
Like
when it
how did we
builds to,
get
like, episode 3, and then
Yeah,
episode 3, like, everything's crazy, and you're like, "This isn't the same show I was just watching."
exactly. Kind of like have you seen there's a movie Requiem of a Dream?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever
You
seen
haven't. Gosh. Anyways, it's like it starts out like at the beginning, just like following 3 different characters that are just kind of like dabbling in a little bit of like kind of slightly risque, like maybe they like smoked a little pot one day, maybe they like, took a little pill one day, and then like just goes from just something totally so fine to like just like the most farly over exaggerated extreme like outcome in the end. But anyways, no, my 3 recommendations for Twitter for Netflix were going to be The Platform. Have you seen that one?
No.
Okay, so that one is really good because it is particularly by some like Mexican writers,
Mhm.
and um I can't remember the exact like situational circumstance, but these people basically end up in like this jail kind of situation. Very interesting. It points out a lot of different issues and like the way that society works, like
Mhm.
from the top to the bottom. Very, very, very dark.
Okay.
At first, it's like very easy, and then it just gets crazy. And it's a very short movie. I think it's 120 minutes, relatively. So I mean, like 2 hours.
Okay.
Very good. Love it. I would say the other one is Cadaver, and Cadaver is super interesting. So these are going to be obscure. I like the weird ones. Like I search
Okay.
these things out. Like I've seen most everything on Netflix, and I'm like, if it's not crazy, like I don't have reverence for it. But Cadaver is super good because I think it's actually like some kind of like Slovakian. It's like maybe Russian or like Netherlands or Swiss or something.
Mhm.
Um, and it takes place in like a dystopian world where it's like there's no food, there's a lot of death all over the place, and like people are like hiding. It like looks post-apocalyptic, and so these people come through the town, inviting people to a show like an in real life theater show, like in this giant mansion, and they get tickets and they get food and all this stuff. They're all invited to come watch this show, and then they'll get food, but everybody's like starving, right?
Mhm.
So they all get invited to this thing, and then so you start this out, and you're like, huh, this is kind of bizarre, and then they go to the show, and then it gets to a point where you don't know what's like real and what's not real.
Okay.
And like at the end of it, it's like, are you gonna die of hunger or are you gonna eat though? You know what I'm saying?
That sounds good. That sounds
You know what
real.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind
Oh,
of like Society of the Snow, and that one is real. You should have watched that one if not.
I have.
Society of the Snow. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm giving you all these bangers. But Society of the Snow, yeah, I think it actually won some like Emmy Awards and stuff, some like Golden Globes or something like that. But it's a documentary. Well, it's a reenactment of something that happened. And it was like, I think in the 70s, there was a plane full of soccer players that were going to some game, and the plane crashed in the mountains of Peru during the snow, and basically they lost these people, and then 2 months later they got like 7 or 8 of them. Like they found like 7 or 8 of them, but it was packed full of people, the airplane.
Uh-huh.
So how did they live in the mountains by themselves
Yeah.
in the snow?
What was that one called?
Society of the Snow. And it was real. It was a
It sounds
real
really good.
story, and
I might
it's
watch
crazy.
that tonight.
Yeah, that one is like crazy. I mean, like that's yeah, my dad said he remembered that story like happening. My dad's 81, so
Huh.
he's remembers a lot of things.
Yeah, you'll have to send those over to me so I can make Viva watch them.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Dude, they're all dark. And then I was going to say the last one, right? And I'm sorry, I'm taking all this time to it's just movies, dude. It's my favorite. It's called Ares, and
Mhm.
that one is definitely like some kind of European one, but AREZ or S. So I think it's something like that. I'll send them to you. But Ares is cool because there's like a secret society of these people, and this girl is like super skeptical, very smart, but she kind of gets invited. She wants to be like a part of it to like get to this place. And then when you find out what these people actually are doing in order to like maintain power, it's just like wild. But it has like some like
Body stuff?
magic, like dark evil type stuff in there, and I love like that satanic like kind of, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So it's like Diddy's Mansion, essentially, and Diddy's White Parties?
Probably, probably. And like to anybody, there was somebody the other day in a space that was like, when are the videos coming out? And I was like, that's really freaking weird because like Justin Bieber, Usher, when they were minors, both lived there, and imagine all the rest of them.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's insane. Like Viva and I are trying to keep up on all the stuff that's coming out, and it it's crazy. Like I'm excited to see how many other people get taken down, and I'm curious how many people aren't going to have anything said about them, even though they were there because you know, the powers that be want to keep them safe. So
Well,
curious
I
to see
think
how it all shakes out.
it's the same as the Epstein thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those lists
I
of
can't
certain
believe
people.
nothing came from the Epstein stuff. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, the same thing's going to happen. And I was saying, like, Diddy is on suicide watch because he's about to be suicided.
Yeah, he's not
You know what
eating
I
the
mean?
food that's brought to him. He knows that, like, somebody's gonna try to poison him. He's
He's
not
going
dumb.
yeah. I was like, they're setting the narrative. They're going to make, see, we told you.
I think it's crazy that him and SBF are bunkmates too. That's nuts.
Yeah. And I'm sure he loves that little white, little nerdy behind, you
I
know?
don't know. I feel like Sam would be top and Diddy would take it. I feel like
Really?
yeah, I do. He was like
I don't
top
know. Did you see
tier.
that wild video of Shia LaBeouf, or not Shia LaBeouf, the guy not Orlando Bloom. Who is it's the black guy that was on That's So Raven, the boy, the son.
Corey something?
Corey. Yeah, him.
I
But
don't
like
know his
that's not
last
his real name. I think his real name's like I feel like his name is
name. He was
like
in a video?
no, well, I'm gonna have to send it to you, but there is a video of him like saying just the most crazy nonsense. Let me actually see if I can find it. We'll watch it here
Yes.
together. It'll be
Ooh.
Corey from, let's see. That's so Raven. Diddy. What's his actual name? Oh, dude, it was like the wildest thing. Uh, Orlando Brown, that's his name.
Mm.
Orlando Brown. Let's see. See if I can find the short video. Okay, this is it. Yeah, dude, it's so wild. I cannot wait for you to experience this.
All right, let's see.
Jeez, I wish I didn't have to. Let's see. Oh, why is it not? Oh, yeah. My problem is I don't have Facebook, like, actually for real. Like, I have it, but I don't, like, actually have it. All right.
Facebook, more like fake book.
Yeah. All right. So you can see this right here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No.
Out of my Diddy mode. I'm sorry. I started licking my lip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash koosmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf, the smooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gave me the ooshkash muash. I love it, yo. I love it. You gave me the ooshkash muash. I got in my Diddy mode. I'm sorry. I started licking my lip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash koosmash.
Okay. So now, Child Star on Nickelodeon, you know what I mean? And on Disney. What does that possibly mean?
Yeah, that's weird.
Right? It's weird now.
Yeah.
But but it's weird. That's from a while ago. Like, you know
That's
what I mean? But
wild.
now it's freaking weird. And I remember seeing that like one night and I was like, "What?" And then it was like, "What?"
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
All right. Anyways, so we're gonna wrap this up. This was actually fantastic. I appreciate it, dude. Your art is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get one of those. Nobody's gonna steal it because this
There
is
you
pre-recorded. So
go.
ah. Anyways, you're amazing. We'll do this again. And I didn't even get to ask you like all the stuff that I'm interested in. about like Cattle Daddy Media, right? You're
Yeah.
also with that and everything. And
Yeah,
then do
I
you
help out. It's Lily's thing, but I help out with the videos and stuff.
gotcha. And then but like is there like a rigorous content schedule? Or are you guys like
It's pretty much it's usually like once a month-ish. Lily will have an idea and ask us to contribute. I actually just recorded something for her yesterday, and I think that's going to be shown at some conference in it's either Dubai or Germany or something. I don't know, but it's like specific for a conference that is being done. So somebody reached out to her, she put it together. So we'll see that when it comes out. She'll probably put it on Twitter too, but it's not super like rigorous yet. I don't even think she has received the Catalyst money that she would like technically won. So she's, still just working to build things out, just building it up and trying to keep it natural.
do you know Cardisa Latina?
I
Or
do.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we've been doing like co-interviews. Like
Mhm.
we've been doing interviews together, me and her, and then like with each other because like I speak Spanish, and I want to do more bilingual stuff.
Mhm.
Like our show gets a lot of English speaking people, so I'm trying to like kind of figure out how we can connect what we're doing, do some interviews on the Spanish side, and long term, I'm trying to get like a panel of ladies in crypto because they're kind of like few and far between, sort of. But then also like you have to get the cool ones that are actually going to talk about cool stuff.
Right.
And I'm trying to get them together so that she can have her show. I might help a little bit with some stuff, but I mean, like she already does amazing content. Like her content is actually like absolutely fire, and it's
Yeah.
very short form and super educated. Like she does considerably more research than we do here on JPEG Empire. I'll tell you what. Like we do pay attention to a lot of stuff, so we're plugged in, but she like really lays it out for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Her content's really amazing. And yeah, I'm down to do whatever. So just let me know whenever it's going on, and I'll try to be available.
yeah, let's do some stuff. But you're fantastic. Thank you for joining me on JPEG Empire and Empire Interviews, right? And yeah, we'll see you around. Make sure everybody give her a follow. And if you don't have a Project Venus NFT and you got a little ADA, you get nothing. You know what I mean? But the art, and you're contributing to a cool person in the space. So do it.
Yeah. Just do
Peace.
it. Just do it.
And how can they follow you? What is all your places that you have your stuff?
Mostly Twitter, and it's just
Mostly Twitter?
CNFT fart on Twitter, and you'll find me.
Fantastic. All right.
All right.
See you, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Peace.
Bye.